everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to CJ Scott. It's your host CJ Atemo, and I'm so glad that you are tuned in. Where are you tuned in from? Please let us know. Post a comment right away. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel though, kindly do so. It's CJ Atemo as well, so go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching us from YouTube and you've not subscribed, please do so. It will just take you less than a minute to do the same. For the rest of us who are on Facebook, kindly share the stream, host a watch party. Just let other people get to be part of what we are having as a conversation today, which is a very interesting one as well, because we normally set up, we set up the jury, but the verdict remains with you. Today we want to talk about this thing that you keep on seeing every time, hashtag relationship goals. Well, I'm old school. I grew up in the old day. I'm not too old, but I'm old school. So I've never really understood what that means. But I've got two ladies and one gentleman today to come and help us just break that down. Is that a myth? Is that a reality? Are we putting too much pressure on ourselves? Are we putting pressure on other people to live our lives when we talk about, that couple is goals? Are we putting pressure on other people to live the lives that we desire? We'll be talking about that right now, but kindly let me know your thoughts as well. What in your mind is relationship goals? Well, I've got to my father's left, Wakini, and Wakini is a director and a producer of various and several movies. She acted in one quite a while back, and you just brought back that the other day. You're rarely acting, right?
Yes, but I want to come back.
You want to come back to acting?
Yes.
Yeah, so Wakini has been involved in quite a number of projects, and I was privileged to have her work on a project that I was doing my debut in the movie industry sometime last year, and she was guiding me. So she's my movie coach as well, telling me all kinds of things. I would ask, what does that mean? And she would just be bringing me into the loop. But she's been in those spaces, and we're glad to have you here today.
Thank you.
Frank Angolio, the gentleman sitting in the middle, in between them, a consultant with, is it Lightstand?
Lampstand.
Lampstand.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. Lampstand, and then you're an author as well.
Yes.
Okay. Then we've got Sebi Kuke, the CEO of Virtual 21. I'm using that a bit more right now because people just say, a social media influencer. No, she's got a company. She has a company. It's called Virtual 21. Sebi, what does Virtual 21 do?
It's Virtual 21 is a PR company and mostly deals with marketing and advertisement, social media management, media relations, online PR, and commercial.
That's why we see all this crazy stuff from you.
Absolutely.
It's business.
Yeah, it's business.
All right. Okay. So, relationship goals. Wakini, what comes to your mind when you hear people talk about relationship goals? Do they even exist? Are they a myth? Are they a truth?
Well, in my opinion, relationship goals, yes, they're there because once you get to with a relationship with someone, then of course you expect that relationship to go somewhere, right. Because it's a journey and it has to have a destination. Right. So relationships, just like life, you have to have a goal, because if you don't have a goal, then what exactly are you doing in that relationship? Okay. Because then the goals guide you towards the destination that you need to go to.
So for you, relationship goals are not necessarily me looking at somebody else and their partner and saying those are my goals.
No. It's funny because you'll be in traffic and say you'll see someone with a Mercedes and you'll say, I would want to own a Mercedes, but you do not know what that person has gone through to have that Mercedes. Maybe the Mercedes is on a loan and they even had to borrow fuel so that they can be on that road at that particular time with that particular Mercedes. Well, you're on a bicycle, it's your bicycle, no loan, no nothing, but you are at peace. Right. So you don't really compare your life, your relationship, and anything else with anyone else's life.
All right.
And the relationship that you have may be let's say I am dating Steve right now, I will not compare the boyfriend that I have right now, that relationship with someone else, because people are different. People grow. Of course, the person that you are today is not the person that you were in January, you know? So you have to keep on evolving and growing. If you remain to be the same person, then honestly, you're not growing. So that is why you cannot compare your life or your relationship with someone else's.
All right.
Yeah.
Frank, what are these goals that we should look at? I know that you proudly say that you're a father of 2.
Yes. First of all, let me start with maybe the perception you're having. And right now we are in a generation whereby, yes, we have got this huge picture of what we want, but we don't want to follow the process.
Okay.
We see people, they're doing very well, they have gone for holidays, but we don't know where did they start, you know? Then, as far as relationships are concerned, you'll realize we are getting our identity. We are attaching a lot of things to get our identity. So people are struggling so much for the identity thing, but they are not being themselves. They are not being themselves. They are lying to themselves.
All right. You know, Sebi, somebody asked a question, and then we just get into the general talk of it. Somebody asked a question. I thought that it was very interesting. He said, nowadays in relationships, can you write anything to each other? Can you do anything good to each other without posting it? Like, can 2 people just have a good time, get a gift for somebody, take them out somewhere without necessarily posting this?
Thank you, Sage. Yeah, there is something I want to talk about posting. I don't really think posting something I've done to my spouse is wrong.
Okay.
I honestly think that it has 2 ends.
Right.
One, to motivate someone else to do the same. It's not bad to remind them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay to tell, it's okay to do it. So it's the meaning we derive from that specific post or a poster, yeah? If I look at it, you see this idea of leave your camera at home, I honestly keep off from it, because I'm thinking we are here to remind each other. We are here to show the world, yeah? If you don't show people kindness, where would people learn from? Where would we learn the kindness, yeah? So when someone posts whatever you've done, if you're posting it for gratification or for validation or for public eye, that's wrong. But if you're genuinely doing it to your spouse and you're genuinely posting it, someone else will learn from it. I mean, in everything we make, people will learn. And when you ask about relationship goals, yeah, the loosely perception that is there is people who are in a studio and they look good together. We talk about relationship goals. Yeah. Probably you've taken me for a trip and you've bought me this. They say relationship goals. I think we've detached from the real meaning of relationship goals. Yeah. These things that we call relationship goals are tightly dependent on communication and understanding that 2 parties have for their relationship to work. Yeah, it's not bad. You can have your couple goals, right. Yeah, but you also need to come to the reality that these couple goals also have their high moments and low moments. But how do they handle it? They come together. And by the way, there is no problem of not posting your low moments on public and posting your high moments on public. What do I mean? One, when you're having your low moments and you post it on public, the environment will have 50% contribution to how you make your decision. Trust me. 1, ego. 2, expectations. So keep off what you cannot hold. If the public is going to hold it high that you bought me a car innocently and happily and genuinely, fine. But if the public will have a perception that me and you are fighting because you cheated on me, it will be so difficult for us to solve it. So there's no problem of you posting. What you need to know is how genuine are you with the posting? And someone else will learn from it.
But can we ever tell, Can you ever tell that this that I'm just posting genuinely? Aren't we creating perceptions with all of this posting as well? That whichever way you do it, you'll say I'm doing it for myself.
True.
But you are not your own follower on Facebook.
That's true.
You are not the one following yourself on Instagram. So you generally know I'm posting this for the people. Because the gratification, Wakini, for me, you give me a gift. The gratification is me receiving the gift, right? And what it means to me.
Yes.
Everything else now
True.
is for the other people, right?
True. You see, the funny thing is, and this is what people don't understand. The moment I give you a present, it's just you and I, it's intimate. But once you've posted it, the intimacy just goes out the window. And you have allowed other people to come into your post, rather relationship, and start commenting and whatnot. Yes, other people will be like relationship goals. Other people will be like, mtachana too. You know? Others will be, there's so many comments that will come through. Yeah. And that is, when you put a post out on social media, rest assured, just know that it's either you're putting it, okay, you might be putting it out there because you innocently want other people to learn from it. Yeah, to learn from it and whatnot. There are those people there's a percentage of people who are going to learn from it. There are those others who are going to be very envious of that whole relationship, and they will want, maybe they'll probably be looking forward to the day that you guys are going to or maybe maybe divorce, or if you're married or something of the sort. Yeah, there are others who will just, I don't know, people are full of ill will, and so many things can happen. But on the same note, there are those people who post because they are Instagram relationships, they are Facebook relationships. You know, they're just together because they look good on camera together. Once the camera is off once they're off the camera lens, then the relationship is just twisted.
All right.
So they're just happy when it comes to photos. And we've seen such kind of relationships, you know. Right. So why, for me, by the time that you're posting something, let it be that you're posting it, as she said, from the bottom of your heart because you want people to learn from it. Either that or, well, it's something that your spouse is really, really, you know, it's a gratification act. Right. And, you know, it comes from deep inside your heart, and you want people to see, but not as a point of an Instagram goals and whatnot. No.
Talking about that, you know, as you talk about that, Frank, I mean, how do we even tell nowadays the difference? Because even it used to be that mostly they would say, you know, it's celebrity couples, celebrity in quotes, because that term is also very loose. You really can't tell. It used to be that it's celebrity couples that are doing stuff for show off. But you see, the pressure is real even for the common person. Yes. So because they will see somebody else posting and they're like, we're in Malindi this weekend. As Wakili says, probably these guys, you know, have been fighting the whole time. So they needed to go to Malindi to save their relationship. Somebody's sitting over here and beginning to ask, so babe, when are we going to, the coast? And something. And so they also feel they need to show something that they're doing as a couple. Because it seems like everybody else is doing something as a couple. And they may not even have the money, they don't have much, they're not really celebrities, but the pressure is coming. How do we even tell the difference nowadays? And you as a person, how do you even tell that you're doing this for you and not for the people out there?
You know what, one thing we always forget is that you'll post a picture of you and your wife. A certain percentage of people don't know you, but maybe me, I know you in person. I always look at the consistency, because nowadays, we are in a generation you can follow somebody's life on Facebook. You will know whether he woke up or she woke up with moods. You will know whether business is not doing well. So I believe sometimes I look at consistency. And we have got some things. We have got some things in terms of emotions and everything. You can read. You can read whether something is genuine or it's fake. Yeah, you can read.
What about you as a person? Like the two of you, when do you get to feel now we're crossing the line? I know cases where sometimes, and I think this was some years back,
Yes.
where somebody was, it was their anniversary. Yeah, it was their anniversary. So he's together with his wife. And then the wife goes onto Facebook, says, happy anniversary to us, babe, and writes a whole thing in the morning. Then it gets to the afternoon, the gentleman has said nothing. They're together.
Yes.
Then she's like, babe, how come you've not written anything
Yes, yes, yes.
on Facebook?
So that people can see.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think for me as an individual, I tried at first, because when love is fresh and everything, you know, you are being moved by feelings. But what people don't know is that feelings come, feelings go.
Yeah.
Sure.
The moment you're posting that picture, it's not you, it's not the sober you. It is feelings. You know, you are doing that, yeah, you are doing that out of feelings. But now the problem is, and
Is that a man talking or is that the truth?
that's the truth. You know, that's the
a man
truth.
talking.
That's a man talking.
That's a man talking.
That's a man.
That's a man talking.
I disagree hugely.
And so you'll realize when those feelings have gone, and maybe now the relationship is having issues. And all of us, I believe, we have dated in one way or the other.
Yeah.
And there are those days you wake up, you look at your partner and you're like, what was I thinking first of all?
Yeah.
There are those days. There are those days you'll wake up, somebody has pissed you off, and you're like, wait a minute. And why did I even take this thing to the public?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So and you know, nowadays, when you talk about relationships and everything, it's like it's not like where our parents are coming from. Nowadays, you're in a relationship for 2 weeks, it's done, you know? So the moment you take your relationship online, believe you me, you are accountable to those people. The moment photos will no longer forthcoming, you have to explain why.
I know of a certain couple,
Yes.
and I know of a certain couple that, you know, they had a lot of photos.
Yes.
Because this lady, by the time she was getting married, she was probably in her mid-30s.
Yes.
So she was excited about it.
Yes.
You know, somebody who's very, very caught up in her work. And so I think she didn't even think that anybody
Yes.
would be bold enough to come and propose. So when that came up, she was excited. So the photos,
Yes.
she was already a photo person.
Yes.
It's not the relationship that started it.
Yes.
She was those kind of people who will wake up and do like 4 or 5 photos every day.
Yes.
So with the marriage, this is a good thing. She kept on putting up
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah.
Then at some point,
Exactly.
when COVID came, somehow the guy had disappeared.
Yes.
So there would be all of these comments, like literally like 300 comments, and most of them is that, so where is so-and-so?
Yes.
The thing that you're saying, that once you start putting it over there, the people feel that they're entitled.
Exactly.
It is our relationship.
It's this is a community
online
thing.
laws.
Yeah, it is our relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sebi, how are we supposed to handle that so that people don't get into pressure with their own relationship, which sometimes probably was working well offline, but now because we want to be like somebody else that we think are relationship goals, people who have to wake up every morning and then post something about a spouse and do something, then now we find ourselves at a place where Frank is talking about your relationship is so much out there, people are coming in, they have their opinion, so you can't even take time with yourselves, sort out your problems, because they're expecting another photo tomorrow, and you don't want to explain that we're not okay.
Okay. First of all, I want to disagree with the idea that
You didn't let that go.
no, I didn't. That putting yourself out there is wrong. First, I started by saying I will stand to buy it. There are people who will learn from it. What I want us to look at keenly is the relationship fabric. One, people must understand that relationships are unique. Whatever is working for Frank will not work for Wakini, neither will it work for me.
Right.
So as you choose your couple goals or relationship goals, you need to know that there is value in uniqueness. You need to understand your person, whoever you want to come out with. And I I do not understand. The reason why I am disagreeing with this idea is you will still break up whether you are online or not, if you are to break up. True. Okay. So are we scared of going to public because we will break up, or we are rooted to a cause? Honey, we are finishing this journey together, with or without people, with or without online. This is what matters, not about whether you are going to break up tomorrow. If I'm not going to flaunt a relationship because I'm going to break up tomorrow, then why am I even in this relationship at the beginning? Yeah. So I think what we need to look at is, what is my goal with this relationship? And another thing, we should look at the reality. The reality should outweigh.
Sebi, let me ask you, do you know how it feels to have been waking up every morning talking about how this man is awesome? And then one day you have no man to post about. I mean, really, as a human being, just dealing with those emotions.
I understand, yeah, Chris. Let me tell you, there is also, I don't know the exact word, but maybe psychologists have those words, yeah? How you handle your online persona defines your personality as an individual. Either too much of something or less, you're insufficient. Okay. Either there's something that is so sufficient or something that is insufficient. So if someone is, personally, I am a brand ambassador. I cannot wake up every day posting that thing because, you know, there's so many things that are going on apart from this. So if there's someone that all they do is to wake up in the morning and say, Ben did this, we are here with Ben, then there's a problem already. There's something you're missing. One, you're missing attention. Like, hey people, could you just look at me?
Yeah, right.
So the problem is, why are we people focusing on someone who already have a disease that you don't know? So what you're doing is you're actually borrowing a disease.
Right.
When I was in high school, or when I was young, I used to love people with sunglasses. Oh my God, I was given a sunglass, I can't even wear it. Reason being, I thought they looked classy, I thought they were beautiful, I thought there was something about wearing sunglasses. Yeah. Now that I am supposed to wear sunglasses, I can't. This is because people are borrowing disease, especially the online disease.
Yeah.
Do not look at someone and think, I want to post my spouse the way they post it. That's why I started by saying that. Make sure that whatever you do, you're doing. Now, you asked about how do you differentiate between social media relationships and real relationships. There is no difference. There is no difference between an Instagram relationships and the normal relationships. What happens is people are so much bred with a lot of information, but what they lack there is revelation. You know, they lack what to do with all this information. I have an idea of the girl I want, and I am going for her. She's on Instagram, and you get her. 2 weeks later, you're bored. You let go. The same thing to men. This is the kind of man I want. And by the way, men, mark me, by the way, when a woman say yes, you did not work hard. She had already made that decision. She knew it in her head. What she did is she created a space for you to play your own game. If a woman say no, just say it was a no from the beginning. There's this thing that men say, oh, I
They're
want.
not swing votes for Kenny.
I am with her, 100%.
She created a space for
It's
you
true.
to score. Okay? She lets the goal, so you scored. So why we will let you have the goal, post at the ball and say, oh yeah, I won. But it's because of her. So, but by the time all these are happening, just know that which kind of a spouse am I looking at? And secondly, people need to understand the social media corridors, yeah? Especially people on a public domain like us. Once you have a relationship, it's not your work to tell people what they want to hear. It is your work to make sure that you are happy, first of all, before feeding the public.
All right.
So as you go out there to feed the public, number one, without contradiction, it's because you want an identification. True. That you know what, especially for the girl child. I'll tell you, Chris, people will look at you like this and think, oh my God, this Sebi must be having the craziest, most healthy and wealthy sponsor in this world. So do you know why sometimes you would come out to say, guys, you know what? I have this kind of life. It's because you're tired of the information that people keep on feeding you with. People keep on feeding you with. Same to the guys. They will say, this one is a womanizer. You know, so by the time you have a woman, in every post that people make, I'll tell you, there is always an information or a message they're putting out there. So you will get, you are looking at a post someone has made, you don't know the information or the message they want to put out there, you think that is a couple goal. You go for it.
And Wakili, you know, there are these cases now, for example, you have a partner who is very reserved.
Okay.
And then you're always outgoing. Everything about you, you want it out there. You're with a very good person, and you know that everything you want. The only thing they don't want is this to be out there in the public. They're thinking like, this is for us, and you're out there.
Scam.
Not from a point. Seriously, Sebi, there are people who genuinely do not like publicity.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
They are not cheating, they're not hiding from anybody. It's not like they're afraid anywhere else something will come up.
Yeah.
They just love their privacy. Where do we put the balance there?
There's something called compromise, and this is a relationship. The relationship has two people. It's a contract. Yeah. So with a contract, both parties have to be okay. You cannot just say because you do not like publicity and I like publicity, then I will go with what you want because, well, you know, you don't like publicity. So where does that leave me? Because I will feel left out. If I feel left out, then the relationship suffers. So we have to come to a compromise. Yeah?
What if this guy's doing everything right? The only part that issue is coming up is maybe posting photos, being all over the place in public, but everything else, you get the attention, you get the affection, you get the affirmation, you get appreciation, all of that.
You've seen my post on Facebook, yeah?
There's some of the craziest posts.
Exactly.
Just find Wakili Njoroge on Facebook. Some of the craziest. Sebi has nothing on Wakili. I can tell you that for free.
Oh my God, serious?
Well, all right.
Yeah, and well, my posts are out there. You know, my parents are on Facebook. My relatives, close and extended, and that is the person I am. Even my status on WhatsApp, everybody keeps on telling me, why? Hey, as in, how do you come up with these things? But you see, that is the type of person I am. I'm not going to change the type of person that I am as an individual just because you want me to change. Where does that leave me as a person, as an individual? Because I have to feel safe in my space, in my body, in my mind. If I don't feel safe in my body, in my space, in my personality and whatnot, how am I supposed to be in a relationship with someone else before I come to know myself? Right. You know, you will ask me who is Wakili. I will tell you, well, I'm an outgoing person, I'm a director, I'm a producer, I'm an actor, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. I'm into medicine, I'm blah. But if I don't know all those things, as Sebi is saying, you will post things on Facebook, on Instagram, and the moment people start posting negative things, you're going to either pull it down, get depression or something of the sort. Thing is this, post whether you post a lot of things also on Facebook, yeah? And I remember there was this post that you posted about when Corona came out, and you were so into the chat still continuing. How many people were against it? You know, you stood by your word, and that is the type of person that you are. If you had pulled it down just because your followers, 50% of your followers were against it, then what type of a person will that make you? You know? Right. So you need to stand by the person you are. Because the person you are, you have to live with yourself for the rest of your life. So if this person influences 110% of your life, and you're not with this person, like even your shadow leaves you, really, why were you born?
I feel, I agree with everything that is being said. My question that I'll ask somebody who is taking, and also I think I'm talking out of experience, somebody right now who is taking his relationship or her relationship to the social media, the person should ask him or herself two questions. One, am I ready for the pressure if things go bad? Am I ready for that kind of pressure? Because we have got some people who thrive under pressure. And we have got other people,
one of them.
it kills them completely.
Yeah.
We have got some people when now they thrive in controversy.
Sure.
When now the people are asking, Sebi and the boyfriend wako wapi? Sasa, there is where Sebi now is thriving. You know?
Yeah.
And some of us, if it is, we are in that situation, we are going to die because of pressure. So just ask yourself, are you ready to handle the pressure?
Right.
And expectation. The second thing is expectations.
Right.
I have got friends who their marriages are going through a lot of stuff because you never liked my picture. You know, but I saw you commented on another lady's photo. Now, those are expectations.
Frank, that's why I said, yeah? That's why I said that
Yes.
before you put a picture out there,
Yeah.
first of all, why you should understand why you're putting it out.
Yeah, sure.
First is what message or what am I putting out there? What message is here?
Yeah.
Secondly, what is the purpose?
Yeah.
And thirdly, expectation.
Yes.
You talk about if you can handle pressure. I honestly think I can handle
Yeah.
pressure. However, when Chris asks about if your spouse does not want publicity and you are in the public domain, where do you draw the line? You see, when two people are coming together, you first understand one another.
Yeah.
Sure.
You must have you must balance the equilibrium. Yeah. So the second thing is, my man does not like social media, and I am here. I like publicity. Therefore, how do we communicate? First things first, understand why he does not like social media. And if his points are genuine, she talks about compromise. Then look at what you can compromise.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you think you will die without posting this man, post the leg. It's so easy.
On the hand.
On the hand or anywhere. Because the guy cannot tell you that I love you and I do everything, so you don't put me out there. How? You have a person. So he will also have to compromise something. He will give you the leg, you know, or give you the hand, because what you are doing is you want to understand one another. You want to support one another. I think when I was meeting Pastor Chris, I knew he goes to this church, and I knew this is his course, and I knew this is his purpose. So the fact that I am going to this one, how do I make sure that we are compatible? If you don't want to be anywhere, and I'm a public figure, oh God, I think it means we are not compatible from the word go. If we cannot understand one another.
True.
You know, there's and off the social media, just now social gatherings as well. There's these pressures that also come, whether it is weddings, family meetings, workplace, dinners, and well, you know, the year is coming to a close and something. So there are all these dinners, there are these parties, the chairmans are releasing their dividends, there are all kinds of stuff happening. There's that pressure for couples to show up. First of all, there's the pressure to look like there's somebody in your life.
Sure.
And then there's the pressure for couples to show up and they need to look happy. This is holiday season. So even off the social media. And somebody else will be thinking that function is not important. To somebody else, that function is everything. Wakini says she's an outgoing person. So you probably have somebody, again, I'll go back there, who's a bit reserved. So you want to be in the party, you'll greet everybody, hug everybody. He has no problem. He's with you at the party. But he's not going to take photos with everybody, laugh with everybody. So one person sitting at a corner is thinking they're having issues. But there's a personality stuff. So sometimes you get people beginning to put pressure on their partners. Like, honey, you need to smile. You need to greet everybody. You look bored and all that. And the guy is thinking, look, I'm here with you. I'm in the space. But you want this person to look in a certain way because of the social gathering that there is. Then you just have people beginning to have issues. How are we supposed to really deal with this pressure even at the real life level?
Well, I think you need to just again, it's all about understanding each other. So we are dating and you're reserved. I go for movie premieres and whatnot, which have a lot of media and whatnot, you know, publicity. So be there, you know, definitely I'm not going to live in the house, given, be there. But I'm not telling you, I won't put pressure on you to go and say hi to everyone, obviously. The fact that you've made an effort to be there with me, I don't think it will be very necessary for me to just keep on telling you to smile and say hi to everybody. You know, you are there. And I understand. You know, I need to understand my man. My man is not talkative. My man is not social. My man is not outgoing. Of course, he's going to say hi to 2 or 3 people, definitely. Yeah? Because you also don't want someone who's very gloomy and then just comes and stays in a corner or just goes to the toilet and you just, you know, closes himself out. No. But if he will come, he comes with me and takes 2 or 3 photos and says hi to 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, that's fine.
Honestly, if you people want to think that we have issues, I don't care.
It's up to you.
It's up to you. I don't care.
But Frank, I've met people, like I'll be meeting somebody, and especially for ladies, okay?
Yes.
And then they brought this guy around, and now we would see the pressure. They would be putting the guy under to speak and to do, and so many times I've had to tell ladies, like, please, let him be.
Yeah.
When he will get comfortable,
He'll open up.
he will speak. Because now they feel like there's a way they wanted you to feel about this other person. Now they're putting him under pressure to be this bubbly person, and probably that guy is not.
I think for me, you know, it's like you're talking about me. My job entails, people think I'm an extrovert.
Yeah.
My job entails talking to corporates, talking to large crowds. But in real sense, I'm this one person, I'll come, then just look for a corner, take my drink.
How you
and
all
go there.
doing? We're in the same WhatsApp group.
I'm that kind of a person. And so when I'm told, we have to go with you somewhere, first of all, I'll ask, okay, is it a must? I be there, you know? So if it is a must, I be there. Because the way you have said about compromising, huh? If I say no, I think I'll be selfish.
Yeah.
But now, it's not terms and conditions. But just be ready to tell your friends when they'll be like, why is your guy? Just tell them that's how he is.
If they do.
If you are ready to explain that, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
Yes, if you are ready to explain to people, because me, I don't have that time of explaining.
And
You
that's
know?
compromise.
Yes.
See, that's compromise.
Yeah.
He has
So
gone.
long as your people have got no problem with me in my corner, I've got no problem. I'll go. So I think it's all about expectations and agreeing with each other. That's it.
Understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think mostly you need to understand one another.
Yeah.
But honey, why are you going with me to an event and you sat in a corner with you and you're not saying hello to anyone?
That's
I mean, if you
Maybe
have,
he's security, maybe he's just offering you his support.
yes.
But you need to say hi.
Yeah.
Yes,
When I
I'll say hi.
Let me say hi.
I'll say hi. You will introduce me to some few people, and by the time you are realizing, I've already positioned myself.
Yeah, let's just say that in your compromise, as you compromise a situation, just have your irreducible minimum. Just say hello to people and chat kidogo. There must be someone who will be like you, by the way, in the whole setup, who also do not line all up.
Yeah.
I'm one of those women you get into a room and she will be there on the side walking and saying hello to people, until you say, usimame tu wewe sasa mheshimiwa. I'm one of those people, and apparently my guy is very quiet. He's a quiet guy. He understands that.
Yeah.
However, he will drag with me and tell me, mama, you just do your thing. I'm here. Does not mean that you will not say hello. Does not mean that I've robbed his peace. What he's done is actually compromised to my point. But he has his irreducible minimum. He said, this one I cannot go past.
All right, let's just talk about something before we wind up. There's a time, Home Beautiful came up, and there was pressure. You know the Home Beautiful Facebook page?
Oh,
Everybody
yes,
posting
yes,
about
yes,
their home.
yes.
There was a lot of pressure.
Yes.
And so if I will see what is in Frank's house, then here is my lady as well, seeing all of those and the kind of fridges that are in that place, and somebody saying, I brought this fridge from this particular place and that. Then the pressure rises on this side.
Yeah.
Why are we using this tiny thing over here? Because, again, we're back to the place, you're looking at the other people and thinking those are goals.
Yeah.
This is how this person is treated. This is how this person gets their things done.
Yeah.
And then we begin expecting our partners to do the same. What would you say to people who literally then begin fights at that particular point because they feel either they're not being treated well, and then there's all this talk sometimes people will have, if they're not paying attention to you, they're paying attention to somebody else. If they're not spending money on you, they're spending money on somebody else.
Yeah.
Probably they have a loan that they never told you about. What are we supposed to do with all of that? Because this information will keep on coming. It will keep on. You can't stop people from posting on Home Beautiful and everywhere. There was another one. It's called
Wanderlust.
Wanderlust. You can't stop people from posting all of those kind of stuff. But the truth is, these things build certain kind of pressure as well for people who are trying to grow their relationship, their marriage, whatever it is. What are we supposed to do with that, Frank?
I think, and I've been there, I've been in a position where I lost everything. Everything. I'll go back to where I started. Identity.
Sure.
Where is your identity coming from? What is defining you as Frank? What if it is that car that is defining you? The day that car will be taken away from you, you are dead. When the two of you are coming together, what were some of the things that attracted you to each other?
Sure.
If it is the job, like right now, COVID has exposed a lot of relationships.
Yes.
If it is that, I've got friends who are CEOs. Right now, they are jobless completely. You know, you are in your house, you hear the wife and the hubby, they are arguing. You know, and it's really, really sad. So, when the two of you are coming together, what are those things that are making you unique? Because when those things are taken away from you, there's no relationship.
Well, you know, and you'd hear that, Wakini.
Yeah.
Somebody will say, but I didn't leave my father's house to come and suffer in this man's house. So, yes, you can.
Yes.
But why did you leave in the first place?
Yes, they came together with love at maybe 21, 22. But then, now you're 31 or something. Certain things have gone. You've lost the job, you've lost a few things, certain things have gone. This person probably, their family members, I see a lot of stuff, I hear a lot of stuff. Their family members are probably doing well, or their age mates are probably doing well. Then now they're stuck here. It seems like their relationship, they are doomed to just keep on suffering. And she's thinking, I didn't leave my father's house to come and suffer over here, so if it is going to be suffering, I would rather be out. You're talking about how COVID has affected relationships.
Maybe, okay, it's a bad example, but I always use this. And when I'm addressing my sisters, this is what I always say. You want me to have characteristics like that resemble your dad's characteristics. You know, you want me to be strong like your dad, you want me to be... But the question is, why can't you humble and be patient like your mom? You know?
Wakini doesn't take that.
That is the thing. That is the thing. Because even these people we admire who are like mentors, you know? When right now, Chris, I know where you are. It's not where you started. But now me as Frank with my 1 year relationship, I want to be where you are exactly. It doesn't happen that way. There is process. And if is it by passing or if you jump the process, there's a certain stage. If you jump that stage in this your journey of dating and everything, it will get you up there. Somewhere else. Now you can imagine, kuna vitu hamjapitia hapa katikati, then you guys are like 10 years in marriage, then that stage comes. You have not seen each other broke. You have not seen each other jobless. You have... What happens? There's no marriage, there's no relationship.
You know, you're talking about it. Well, I won't even ask what I wanted to ask about that. The last thing I would ask is the element of, you see, like Wakini, you were in the movie industry, you've built a name.
Yeah.
And then you get married, and you still feel you need to retain the brand Wakini, Chessy.
Yeah.
And this person is feeling like, you need to adapt my name. And you feel...
I'm actually having that conversation with my boyfriend currently.
And you feel taking up that name will be like starting afresh.
Yeah.
You have to rebuild it,
I believe in brands and building myself, I am an individual first before we met. And by me not changing my name doesn't mean that I love you less.
Right.
That's one thing that people need to understand. Again, we are living in a different era. Yeah, we are not in the eras of the 1950s and blah that we had to really change our name. Fine, people will know me probably as Mrs. So-and-so. I will not want to change my name. Why? Because I've really, really worked hard to build that name to be a brand. It's very different. Yeah. For someone like us, you know, for us, we are in the media industry. So even as you, Chris J. Atemo, if someone comes and tells you, change your name, you know, drop Atemo or drop Chris and put something else, honestly, how many years have you worked on that name? You know, it's the same thing. Because I think women, we are given so much pressure, like a lot of pressure. Honestly, we are. And that pressure, for the most part, it's very unnecessary. It's very, very unnecessary. And it's as simple as this. You love me, I love you. Let's sit together and get to see what works and what doesn't work. And the question, what he answered about, you know, Jakuja kwenyu kuteseka, I will, you know, as well be in my father's house. My question is, what are you bringing to the table by the time you're asking that question? You know, you don't just throw questions like that. Because, I mean, you are living in that house. You are eating in that house. You are everything in that house. So what are you bringing to the table? You can't just say that the man's job is to provide, yeah, and I'm just sitting around waiting for someone to bring money in the house. Go back to your father's house or whatever. Again, you were taken to school to make something out of yourself. Yeah? It's not, you were not taken to school so that you can be an educated fool, honestly. Yeah? To just sit around and wait for someone to bring you money. Who are you? You're not a pet. Yeah? So, with all those things, and it also comes with, you know, the changing of name and whatnot, it's a different world we live in. I contribute this much and I'll tell you, you know, my salary is this amount of money, or right now I don't have money, I'm going to do this and this. Like my job personally, I'll be working for 2 months, then I'm not working for 3-5 months or something. Like this whole year has been very crazy for us, yeah? And if we start looking at it in that aspect, and maybe let's say, for me, I'm in the media industry, I'm working maybe half the year, and then the other half I'm not working, I'm looking for work or something of the sort, then you are expecting every month I give you 50,000, and you know, your work is different. You know, you need to understand that relationships are different, lives are different, individuals are different, and that's why they're called individuals. Yeah? Don't compare yourself with other people. Don't compare your relationships with other people. Don't post things on social media because other people are doing it. Yeah, you have no idea why they're doing whatever that they're doing. Yeah, do it because it's well within your means. Yeah, it's well within your individualism. It's well within your personality. It's well within your relationship. Yeah, so don't just do things because other people are doing things. I will change my name because I want to change my name. And as at now, I am not ready to change my name, not for anyone. I'm going to stick to my name as it's a brand the way it is, you know?
All right. And Sebi, I want us, as we conclude, you answer this particular question. A lot of young relationships now feel like they've got to have channels. I've thought about that as Wakini is talking. Like, you know, some people, it is within their space. And there are people who, when they do that, it really works for them. The personality, whatever. So if they're doing content creation as a couple, it just flows. But now, there'll be another one who feels, okay, we got married last week. Because that couple and that couple and that couple have a show, or they're running some YouTube stuff, we also need to have ours. That kind of a thing. Do we all have to have our YouTube channels? And
I think what we need to understand is what are we going to do in our YouTube? Because you are a content creator. You know how much difficult it is to just come up with the content and to put out there. Yeah, one thing I realized that as much as everything else sells, there is there's a perception that family content sells a lot. Because it's a paramount. Family and relationships are paramount. They sell a lot. That's why even family scandals would sell more than any other scandal. So I think what people need to understand is that not everything will work for you. There is no single template in life that defines what works for anyone.
All right.
Absolutely. Even for the YouTube channel, as you bring your spouse on board, just look at it this way. What is our purpose, or what are we going to do in this content, in this channel that we want to put out there? If you have nothing to put out there, honestly, stop the pressure. Keep off the pressure. Secondly, before we conclude this, she talked about changing her name. I think when you're having Sebi Cox Nyasego is different from you having Elseba Award Kokeo. So Sebi Cox Nyasego is a stage name. It's a brand, forget it. Have Elseba Award Kokeo. And by the way, the only place I want to differ with Wakini a little politely is this. Wahenga were not stupid. The reason why people were adapting the name or changing their name to their men, people will look at it like demeaning women or something, but it was progressive to protect the generation. In the event that your man dies, there is a way you carry out with the name and the generation. It was not meant to now dismiss your father. I mean, what is in a name, really? So if you're going to have Elseba Award...
We should talk about what is in a name.
Yeah, if I'm
we
going
should
to...
have a whole
conversation. The whole idea was not to look down upon woman. If you still want to hold your name, well and good. But again, it would also be easy for many other things, especially inheritance, when it comes to even properties and all that. That's why the generation had that idea of, the traditional guys had that idea of, have your man's name, so that when papers are brought together, all their affidavits and depots and all that, there is, I am so-and-so Otieno, okay?
All
so
right.
that is why they came up with the name.
We're going to talk about what is in a name. You know why? Because while Sebi is talking about the past generation, there are certain dynamics that are quite different. One of them being that our mothers stayed in their marriages forever. Today, somebody's probably in their third marriage, so which name do they take?
The third one.
True.
And then those days, those women would rely on what the men would bring as their inheritance. Today, a lot of women have gone out there and are making their money, so they're feeling like, in any case, he's the one who wants to take from me. My time is totally up. But I am glad that we've had this conversation. As we say, we stir it up so that we just bring in our thoughts, but you will always have the final say on what you think is the direction that we should take. Well, it's not bad to learn from people, but don't make assumptions. That's what I've just picked from my panel today. Don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions just because people look good together. I hear this a lot. You know, you two look good together. Well, if the camera is good, they will look good, obviously. So it's never just the way it looks. For everything that looks good, there's a lot of work that has been put to it. So put work to yours, and you probably then will leave the goals that you have, not the goals that somebody else has. Till the next time, that's all the time we've had on CJ Scott. Please subscribe to the channel, share, like, comment.